possible to eat for an entire week on only $30, starting with basically nothing. Hey, if you've never seen me before, my name is Christine. I am a mom to 4 children, 2 of which have graduated, moved out, and are now living on their own, doing the adulting thing, college, working, dating. It's all the good things. And I have grown my YouTube channel by shopping on a budget, and I've shown you how to do it, and I've taken you with me for the last 8 years. But my family's getting smaller, and I've noticed my kids need a little bit more assistance as they jump out there and start adulting for the first time. And here's what I know about early move outs is they don't have a ton of cooking skills yet. They don't have a ton of kitchen tools yet. And my college students, they are just not going to be making homemade bread. They will not be making homemade tortillas. They will not be cooking dinner every single night. Like, ain't nobody got time for that. So in this series, I am trying to show you quicker, easier, but still delicious and budget-friendly meals that even a college student can do. This is week 2, so I do have a couple of grocery items left over from week 1, which we will be utilizing. If you haven't seen the week 1 video yet, it's this one right here, and I'll also leave it down below for you to go check out so you can see where we started and where we're going from here. If you like budget cooking videos, hit that thumbs up button for glory.
What does the button do? Press it! Press it for glory!
And let's get cooking. Here's the haul for week 2. This came out to be $30.29 without tax. Now, if you are unfortunately in one of those states that does charge tax on groceries, it will be slightly higher than this. Unfortunately, I am one of those people, so it's actually like $32, $33. But here's what we have. Our lone proteins for the week are gonna be the chicken drumsticks and the eggs. Egg prices are on their way down, so I went ahead and got an 18 count instead of the 12. The 10-pound chicken leg quarters is the better deal when it comes to the chicken drumsticks in the 5-pound versus the 10-pound. However, I didn't have the extra couple of dollars this time, so I went ahead and went with this one. I do shop at Walmart for these challenges. If you have a budget store around you, like a Winco or an Aldi or something else, you know, feel free to go to the one that is the most budget friendly. I don't have an Aldi close to me, so Walmart is one that I know most of the United States has. I saved a couple of dollars by running into Dollar Tree for 2 items. Now, my Dollar Tree is on the way home from Walmart. I wouldn't recommend going out of your way for a small shop like this, but I was already right there. So I wanted to get some milk. I don't need much, just for cooking, not really drinking, and the $1.25 shelf stable versus, you know, $2, $3, $4 for a gallon or half gallon made way more sense financially. And then I wanted to get some Cajun seasoning. My Dollar Tree in the past has had Tony's. They don't now, unfortunately. So we're gonna try out this Kingsford Cajun style. Typically, I use it like salt, like a seasoned salt. So I just wanna check the ingredients really quick. Does include salt. So hopefully this one tastes good. We will figure it out together. Now remember, I had some leftover items from week 1. I have actually kind of a ton of the maple brown sugar oatmeal packets left, probably 2/3 of that. Quite a bit of the little sour cream guy that I got. Half the box of rotini, so about a pound of rotini, plus some garlic and chicken bouillon. So that's what we have to work with, plus obviously salt and pepper and oil. You'll notice I did get butter this time, a full pound. I was planning on only getting 2 sticks, but the bigger one was less than $1 extra. Financially, it made more sense to do this one and like try to use it over the next 3 weeks. But here we go, this is what we have. Let's start cooking. Prep time is starting with cooking the entire 5 pounds of chicken. I am gonna do mine in my Instant Pot. You don't have to. A crock pot will work, a pot on the stove will work. If I was doing a pot on the stove, I would cover it with water and boil them. I have about 1.5 cups, maybe 2 cups of water in here. An Instant Pot is a great tool for like a college student or a new move out. It's super versatile. It is also not plugged in. Oops. That helps. So I am just gonna hit the poultry button and call it good. I am also going to prep some rice. I'm actually taking this trick from my daughter because this is what she does. So at the beginning of the week, she'll prep some rice. Now, I think she has a rice cooker, but my son does not. And he called me and he's like, Mom, how do you make rice when you don't have an Instant Pot? So I am about to show you. The ratio for rice on a pot on the stove is 2 to 1. 2 measurements of water to 1 measurement of rice. I have 5 cups of water back in here. So I will do 2.5 cups of rice. Now that we are boiling, I'm gonna add in my, yes, washed rice. Oh shoot, I need my other hand, hang on. All right, well, I kind of made a mess. What are you gonna do? Okay, now that the rice is in, I need it to come up to a quick simmer. And this goes pretty quickly, so lid's gonna go on. Come on. I'm taking my temp down to like a medium-ish because it's already boiling. It will simmer quickly. And the second I see bubbles, my heat goes to low and the timer goes to 20 minutes. I see a couple of bubbles. So at this point, I'm giving it a quick stir so it doesn't turn into one big clump. Lid on, down to like a low simmer. Like I'm like at about a 2, 20 minutes on the timer. Okay, 20 minutes. Oh, it's hot. Ah.
It's hot!
And this is what you end up with. It's actually a freaking ton of rice. This was 2.5 cups dry. Cooked, we're probably looking at 5+, 6 maybe. So what my daughter does is at this stage, she freezes it in individual servings. So when it's time to make her daily lunch, she just pulls this out of the freezer and it's always ready for her. These are each 1 cup measurements. So I have ended up with over 10 cups of rice. This is 8 cups, and then I could probably fill another 3 with what's left in this one. So these 2 will go in the freezer, a la what my daughter likes to do. And because I am gonna be using rice pretty quickly, like tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one in the fridge so it is good to go. Our rice prep is finished for the entire week. Hey, my chicken is all done. As you can see, I've got some delicious chicken broth that I will definitely be keeping in a Tupperware. And all of this chicken, all I'm gonna do is debone it. So I'm gonna take it all off the bone so I just have a nice big Tupperware of shredded chicken for the week. Here is my chicken for the week. I divvied it up into 2 cup containers into each one. And you could also freeze them just like this. So if you're worried about chicken going bad, you know, 1 can stay in the fridge, the other 2 can go in the freezer, and I've got my chicken ready for the entire week. For the first couple nights of dinner or as an easy lunch, we're gonna put together the easiest corn chowder you've ever seen in your life with these ingredients. Because I wanna eat this for multiple meals, I'm doing 2 cans. If you don't want to, you could just do 1 can and cut it in half. So I've got 2 cans of creamed corn into a soup pot. This is a smallish one. Make sure you get all the goodness out of there. I'm gonna add a minimum of 1 full can of the milk of your choice. I would have preferred a whole milk, but my Dollar Tree didn't have one of those. And if you have a shelf-stable milk like I do, remember that after you open it, you do have to put it in the fridge. So I'm gonna do 1 entire can of milk going in just like that. Here is our soup base. It's literally this easy. And then we're gonna come in with a little bit of potato flakes, not the entire thing. It's going to give it some saltiness and some creaminess. I'm gonna start with a 1/4 cup, which is 4 tablespoons. And I still have quite a bit in here. I love using potato flakes as a quick, easy soup thickener when you're making all kinds of soups. So we'll just mix that in and then we'll go right on the stove and heat it until it's simmered. Here is my corn chowder. I was originally going to do 3 servings of this, but I changed my mind after calculating all of the calories. We're gonna do 2 servings of this, and this is a ton. So each serving will be 2.5 cups, 3 cups, because this is just an absolute ton of food. But calorically, it's not that high. So if I divvy this into 2 dinners, I'm gonna end up with only 12.5 grams of protein per serving and 435 calories. But there you go, 2 dinners. It is literally so easy. So I could eat half of it now and half of it tomorrow. Easy money. Breakfast this week is going to consist of 2 things. First of all, I still have a lot of my maple brown sugar. And so one of my things that I wanted to do was to take a packet and dice up like 1/2 of an apple on top. I just thought that would be so delicious. And in case you guys didn't know, you actually do not need measuring cups with these little packets like this because they're designed to actually eat right out of the bag. You could pour hot water directly in here and it would hold. This is waterproof on the inside. And also they have a measurement line on it for you. So I have just added my water into this bag up to about the line. Can you see it? It's right there. In we goes into the microwave for a minute. My oatmeal's finished and I'm gonna add half of this cut up apple. I cut up pretty small. So there's half my apple. I could use half of it for tomorrow, just stick it in the fridge, and I have a delicious breakfast. I'll do this a couple times this week. For lunchy poo, we are definitely going to utilize our potatoes. Baked potatoes is one of my favorite things in the world. They are incredibly inexpensive. Potatoes have a freaking ton of potassium and vitamin, is it C? Hopefully it's vitamin C.
Vitamin C is good for scurvy, isn't it? Yes.
I wanted to see how many potatoes we could end up with one 5-pound bag. This was $1. It's a great time to buy potatoes. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 13 potatoes. So even if I took half of them and had a baked potato for lunch every single day, I would still be left with quite a few baked potatoes. Now I'm just gonna do this in the microwave because after all, college students ain't got no time.
Not up in here!
I'm gonna do those 4, okay, and I'll save the rest for later. And I do want to give these a very, very good wash because I do want to eat the skin. There's a ton of vitamins and nutrients in the skin. And did you know that potatoes are ranked one of the most satiating foods of all foods? And don't forget, we have our sour cream left over from week 1, and I did buy actual butter.
You yummy, 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 yummy.
Not only can we use this for the next coming weeks, but what good is a baked potato with no freaking butter? Am I right or am I right? So I'm gonna get out a stick, starting this to soften. I'm gonna scrub these and microwave them up. Here are my 4 washed potatoes. I will stab these with a fork really quick, just so they don't explode. Has anyone ever had that happen? It's never happened to me, but I have seen it happen. Kind of like when you microwave a hot dog, those suckers can explode if you don't poke them with a fork. That has happened to me.
I had a bad experience.
Okay, here are my potatoes. And I do have a potato button right there, so we'll do that. Maybe it goes by weight, we'll see. Sensor, I don't know. Okay, here are my potatoes. They ended up being about 10 minutes or so. For lunch today, I'll just do like 1 potato. I'm gonna show you what I do. I'm gonna do a quick little cut like that. I like to do the restaurant push like this. And I personally am a huge fan of butter and sour cream and salt in my baked potatoes. That's the way I like it. So I'm gonna put my butter right in there to get starting melted. While that melts, I'm gonna deal with my other 3 potatoes. I actually want these cold for breakfasts for the next 3 mornings. So I'm gonna let them sit out a little bit until they cool off, and then I'll stick them in the fridge, either in a baggie or in a Tupperware or something. And in the meantime, I've got Mr. Potato right here. Gotta top that with some sour cream. Oh, yes, my friend. And also don't forget, I had bought a couple of apples. So look, this apple is absolutely enormous. So I can have my baked potato with butter and sour cream and salt. And then I'm going to cut up this apple and I can have the sour candy of the fruit world, the nice green apple, delicious lunch, and came together in no time at all. My other breakfasts for the week are going to be eggs and potatoes. Anytime I go to a restaurant, this is kind of the thing that I order. It's gotta be hash browns and scrambled eggs, or I don't like over easy, over hard eggs. And because these potatoes are cooked and cold, they're actually going to hash really, really nicely. I will put in a hefty dose of butter because hash browns deserve lots of butter. Potatoes and butter, they just go together. Okay, in comes my 1 potato, skins and all. I left everything as it is. And I wanna get, this is up pretty high, I wanna get a nice brown color on these. Little bit of salt here, nice little hit of pepper. Now I just wanna leave it until it gets a sear on it, because the potatoes are already cooked, we're just reheating them. Okay, I've put my potatoes over to one side. Now I'm gonna cook my eggs. And I don't need as much butter, but I'm still gonna put a little bit. Don't skimp on the butter, my friends. Now I'm going scrambled eggs because that's what I like, but you don't have to do that. You could do sunny side up, over easy, whatevs. Some of my potatoes got in there, it's fine. And I love having eggs for breakfast because they literally cook in less than 5 minutes. And they're salty. I prefer a salty breakfast. Personally, that's just my vibe. I like savory stuff in the morning. Look how fast that was. Now it's time to flip. Yep. And I'm just gonna dump the whole thing. Booyah! Oh my gosh. Now, if you're really feeling it and you had some extra cash and you bought some Cholula, go ahead and put that all over. But if you don't have that and you maybe want to buy it next week or whatever, just taste for salt. The potatoes are totally cooked, remember, because we cooked them in the microwave. Now they've got this like brown crust on it. It's perfect. No, I think I'm gonna add a hint more salt, but this is living, my friends. Another dinner we are going to put together is Cajun chicken pasta using these ingredients. So I did have half the box of pasta from week 1. If you haven't seen that video, I will leave it in the doobly-doo along with these. These two are from week 1. I have one of my 2-cup containers of chicken, 1 green bell pepper, 1 onion, some cream cheese, a diced tomato. This one's Italian style because it already has seasonings in it. You could have used a Rotel, a plain, it doesn't matter. And we're gonna test out this Kingsford Cajun style seasoning. And hopefully this will be able to feed us for, I'm guessing, maybe four dinners or so. When I make pasta at my house for my sons, they're happy to eat it for every meal. For my Cajun chicken pasta, I'm just gonna do it kind of in a soup pot or pasta pot and kick it off with whatever fat you wanna use. I did buy butter this week, you could use butter. I'm gonna use some oil, just like that. And in goes my 1 onion and 1 green bell pepper. Yeah, that's a whole dinner plate. It's a ton of veggies, just the 1 and 1. And instead of salt, I'm gonna go in with just a sprinkle of my Cajun seasoning. Remember, I'm gonna treat it a little bit like salt. And I just want these to start sweating in here, a little bit of a saute, get them soft before I come in with my garlic. Coming in with 1 garlic clove. Stir that around for, I don't know, a minute. Now, because my chicken is cooked, I can put everything else in the pot right now. I have 2 cups of my cooked chicken legs, and because this is dark meat, it's not gonna dry out the way chicken breast will. My entire can of tomatoes. I have about 1 pound of rotini pasta. You can use whatever shape you like. 1 full teaspoon of Cajun seasoning, and I'm coming in with my homemade chicken bone broth. Look how gelatinous that is. I don't know how many cups this is. I think it's 2.5. It might be 3. That needs to melt down a little bit. And I do have a little bit extra chicken broth. If this is not enough liquid, I might just get it going with just a little bit. That's just water with a chicken bouillon. Okay, that definitely does not look like enough water. I want the pasta kind of covered. And we are just going to bring this to a light simmer, cover it up, and let our noodles cook in this liquid until it's done. Let's check back in about 10 minutes. This is the 10-minute mark. My pasta is not quite done, but I am going to come in with 6 ounces of the cream cheese, not the whole block, but almost. And I do want to taste the broth for salt just real quick. And I'll let this go another 5 minutes probably. Get in there. I'm just tasting for salt because I'm using a Cajun seasoning brand I'm not familiar with. My Cajun flavor is pretty good. I like it spicy, so I'm gonna come in with another little sprinkly sprinkle, but it's pretty low in salt compared to the Tonys that I'm used to, so I'm also gonna come in with a little sprinkle of salt as well. Get that stirred in real quick. Lid on 5 more minutes. 5 minutes later, let's see if we can get this cream cheese all stirred in. So I'm gonna turn my heat off at this point, and there's a little bit of liquid in here, but that's not a big deal. I actually wanna just let this sit in the pan together so the pasta will soak up the remainder of the liquid. I figured this might be 4 dinners. So if you were to divvy this into 4 meals, each serving would have 475 calories and 29 to 30 grams of protein. So let me let this sit and kind of soak up. And if it doesn't soak up to your liking, remember, we have our potato flakes. Perfect application. Little sprinkle on here. It'll thicken it just a little bit extra. This looks and smells so good. Okay, 10 minutes later after it kind of soaked everything up, that looks pretty good. So we're gonna scoop some up and it's gonna be dinner time for me. That looks delicious. Another lunch we are going to have this week is ramen, but we are going to hack it a little bit with some frozen veggies and some eggs. You can add whatever you want. You can add chicken, you could add onions, you could add, I still have the frozen broccoli, we could do that as well, but this is what we're going with for this package. I am kicking off my ramen with 2 cups of water as per the package instructions and 2 servings of the peas and carrots. It gives me more protein. You'll be amazed at how much protein is gonna be in this ramen. Bring it up to a boil. Okay, sorry about the fan. My microwave fan just turned on automatically and it won't shut off. Anyway, I'm boiling, so in come my noodles. There we go. I crunched them up so I could eat it with a spoon. This will only take just a minute and then we'll add the rest of our ingredients. All right, I'm coming in with my powder now. Turn my heat off. Okay, I'm gonna pour in my 2 eggs kind of as I stir. And then that hot broth will cook the eggs. And I've got my nice and delicious hacked ramen for lunch. Smells awesome, nice and salty. Our last dinner is inspired by my daughter, who has chicken stir fry basically every day for lunch in college, every single day. So this is kind of based on what she likes to put in it and what she likes to eat. I am missing a couple of ingredients, so it won't have quite the pow that I wish, but it'll be good enough. So I have a skillet right here and I'm going in with half of a diced onion. She likes to use frozen veggies, so she usually uses broccoli. You can also use peas and carrots. We're gonna do a combo. And I didn't thaw these at all. These are kind of frozen. So she just does like a little sprinkle like that and a little sprinkle like that of your peas and carrots, okay? And those frozen bags can go straight back into the freezer, and we're gonna saute all of this together until everything's kind of cooked and not frozen like that. Okay, my veggies are pretty soft now, so we're gonna come in with our rice and chicken. Remember, I pre-cooked this rice, so it is cold rice from the fridge. That's about 2 cups of cooked rice or so. And I don't know, should I do all the chicken? It's a lot of chicken. Let's do all the chicken. 2 cups of chicken. And maybe my pan's not big enough, but it's fine. Now, in an ideal world, I would also have sesame oil, which I think is a nice touch. And then my daughter also really likes to do like a spicy mayo on top. So if you got something like that hanging around, you know, or you steal it from your parents' house, also fine. So I'm gonna come in with some soy sauce now. And then once that really gets going, I'm gonna make a little hole in the middle. I don't really have room for this. This pan's definitely too small. Maybe I should have, I don't know, cooked another one fresh for tomorrow. It doesn't matter. I do have this on high, but I'm telling you. Okay, I got 3 eggs coming in. We're gonna do a quick egg scramble. Okay, my eggs are almost cooked. I'm gonna go in with a little extra soy here. Make sure this is nice and cooked all the way through. Everything's mixed together. And I say this is probably good for 2 really large servings. And if you're not flinging it all over your stove, are you even cooking? I don't think so. Oh my gosh, this pan weighs so much. My left wrist is not that strong. Oh my gosh, this is so much food. If that's too much for you, you could do 3 meals if you would like. So if you were to divvy this whole thing into 2 meals like it is, 1 entire plate has only 470 calories and 43.5 grams of protein. It's so much volume that you're gonna feel very satiated. Okay, I think it's important to go over the items that we do have left over at the end of week 2. So I'm gonna include like week 1 and week 2. So I have about 6 eggs left, still have a good amount, maybe half of the oatmeal box still. If I didn't want to buy breakfast ingredients next week, I wouldn't have to. I've got 3 potatoes left. I still have some of this chicken bouillon, about half of it. A lot of the butter, because I only used 1 stick, so I still have 3 sticks of butter. Still have a little bit of sour cream. Still have my jam from week 1. My potatoes, my instant potatoes, have some of those. My peanut butter from week 1. The Cajun seasoning, still have that. And most of the rice, because it's a great budget purchase. Still have a lot of that. Did use all my pasta, so I'm out of pasta. Now, if you want to see a week 3, let me know down in the comments. And also let me know if you have some just go-to favorite budget meals that you just never get sick of. I hope you try some of these recipes and are able to save some dollar bills in Mr. Pocket. I will have the shopping list for you down in the doobly-doo below. I'll leave week 1 and week 2 for you. So total, it should cost approximately $60. This is for everyone. Groceries are really expensive right now, and I think we all need all the help we can get. So I appreciate you hanging out with me so much. Subscribe if you want to see more of this type of content. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.